Oh yes, Grenada, Carriacou, Pinimanik, and the rest of the world. Welcome everyone. Welcome to another Mikey Live program, people. It is always my pleasure to be with you, to talk to you about what's making the news, to talk to you about what's happening here in Grenada. People, this is no ordinary program. We tell you about the good, we tell you about the bad, and we tell you about the Mikey. We would like to welcome all the viewers via Facebook, always on the program. Thank you for tuning in. Remember, housekeeping matters. It's important that you do one basic but fundamental thing, which is to share the program. Share the minutes. Hit share right there, people. Now, we also like to welcome those of you who are now viewing via WPG10, channels 10 and 11 on cable. Welcome to the business. All right, to all the grandmothers, hello to you. To all the grandfathers, hello to you. To all the young people on the business, all them children, boy, hello to them school children with us. I don't behave right now because, you know, them children watching. Anyway, Olia, let's look into what's making the news today. It's real news in all the lady Lolo, you know. So here's what's taking place. Police investigating fire at Cherry Hill. That happened on the weekend, boy. You know. Also, Joseph, he's missing, and police, they're asking for your help in locating him. As well, royal visit to Grenada. A live ammunition training, we got to tell you about that. Skerrit defeats Cameron to become the new CWI president. That's the Cricket West Indies, people. And the Vincentian PM calls Caribbean leaders meeting with Trump troubling. Trying to put it nicely, partners. You know what I mean? Firefighters back on the job in St. Lucia. It's been a tough one, and we're going to talk about that. We have a lot more things to tell you about, man. Real thing too. You know what I mean? That's just the headlines. Folks, we want to remind you that the headlines is brought to you through the kind compliments of Duty Free Caribbean and the Colombian Emirates International. When you see we come back from the popcorn and coke break, it's real news I'm telling all you. So brace all yourself. We will be back.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom
for me and you.
I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. What a wonderful world.
And so it begins, a journey like no other. Jungles so lush, they make emeralds jealous. Water that sparkles like diamonds. Mountains with more facets than precious gems. This is where good times are had, where love is strengthened, where memories are formed. And when it all comes to an end, bring home something that will never fade. Colombian Emeralds International. Bring home more than a memory.
Trying to get fit for 2019? Then start your journey to fitness with Quartz. Buy any Marcy or Land Ranger gym equipment for $4.99 and over from now until March 31st and enter for your chance to win your purchase free. Shop now and pay nothing until Easter 2019. Your journey to fitness begins with Quartz. Visit us today for your gym equipment and enter to win. Quartz, bringing value home.
On Saturday, 6 April, the National Stadium comes alive with the grand opening of the second annual Pure Grenada Cup. St. Andrew Big Parish Stars versus St. Mark Western Stars. And from 9 p.m., defending champion St. Patrick Crown City Strikers versus St. John Dolphins. Experience pure football, pure class. Then after the games, we move stateside for the top 3 artists in the International Groovy Monarch from Trinidad. Groovy King Swappy from St. Lucia with his man Teddyson John and the Grenadian Golden Boy Vaughn. Also featuring the band Solid and Pappy Boy. Admission $25 main stand, $20 bleachers. The grand opening of the second annual Pure Grenada Cup. Get into the game.
Yes, I get into the game, and of course, Mikey Live is a sponsor to the business too. You know what I mean? Yeah, the sponsor to the business. All right, yeah. Let's get right into the news. I like to give all of the notices and things like that, you know. So let's tell you about that first. And by the way, I'd like to welcome those of you who are just joining us again. Now, the National Water and Sewage Authority, NWASA, advises consumers from Annandale through to Woburn and surrounding communities in the parish of St. George that in order to facilitate required system maintenance, that your water supply will be interrupted on Tuesday, March 26, 2019, between the hours of 8 a.m. and 10 p.m. Consumers, you are advised to collect and store water in clean covered containers prior to the interruption of your supply. Consumers, you are also advised that although the system will reopen at 10 p.m. tomorrow, God's willing, some, especially those on high elevations, may receive your supply within the 2 hours after the scheduled restoration period. The authority apologizes for any inconveniences caused and would like to thank you, the consumers, for your patience as they work towards the delivery of a safe, adequate, and reliable water supply. Now, as I say, they are committed to meeting customers' needs. The Spice Mart Corporation has sent out a series of notices to the general public. They are extending an invitation, first of all, to all interested persons to attend the traditional mass workshop. Now, the workshop will take place on March 30th at the Labocan Creative Arts Center, Kirani James Boulevard, and that will be at 9 a.m. and it goes until 3 p.m. Interested persons, you are please asked to contact the Spice Mart Corporation on telephone number 440-0621 or email admin@spicemassgrenada.com. As well, the Spice Mart Corporation also extends an invitation to all interested persons to attend a Fancy Mass workshop. Now, the workshop will take place on April 6, 2019 at the Labocan Creative Arts Center, Kirani James Boulevard, 9 a.m. and that will go to 3 p.m. Again, interested persons, you are asked to call 440-0621 or email admin@spicemassgrenada.com. Now, this one goes out to all event promoters. The Spice Mart Corporation extends an invitation to you, all event promoters, to attend a meeting to discuss the way forward with respect to the upcoming Spice Mart 2019. Information will be disseminated from various government entities which you will have to engage in making your events a success. Now, the meeting will take place on Thursday, March 28th, 2019 at 2 p.m. It will be happening at the Ministry of Labor Conference Room, 3rd floor, Ministerial Complex, Tantine, St. George, and they would like to thank you in advance for your usual cooperation. As we get deeper into the communities to speak about little activities, we see here that we've got results from matches played on Friday 22nd in the GCIC cricket tournament, where you have so many different organizations and so on participating, and that is why we thought it necessary to highlight those every night. Now, we had a game between the Glenelg and Clark's Court. Now, here's what would have happened. Clark's Court scored 63 all out in 14.3 overs, and Glenelg 65 runs for the loss of 4 wickets in 8.1 overs. Second game, Huggins Pacers versus Hubbards. Hubbards made 130 for 7 in 15 overs, and Huggins Pacers made 136 for 3. All right, in 14.4 overs. Game 3, Mount Cinnamon Hitters versus Latouche Interior. Latouche Interior scored 197 for 3 in 15 overs, and Mount Cinnamon Hits made 91 for 6 in 15 overs. Oh yeah, the next thing that we have to tell you about, boy, on the weekend, there was a family who lost their house, man. You know, we've been saying that it's never easy when people, it's not easy when people lose their house. In this case, you know, a family lost their home. It was not nice at all. It was not a nice scene. Some people stood by helplessly, not having anything, you know, adequate to put out the fire. You understand? You know, whenever you hear that kind of thing, boy, it just breaks your heart. So police are investigating the weekend fire at Cherry Hill. It left a two-story wooden and concrete house and another building in the vicinity completely destroyed. 2 other nearby buildings were also partially destroyed. Now, the fire took place on Saturday. It happened at around in the afternoon time. You understand? Sometime around 5. Now, an estimate of the damages is still pending. There were no injuries or loss of life. But the Hackett family say they have lost everything. At the time, they were attending a wedding ceremony for the daughter when they got the call to say, yo, all you, trouble with your property and thing. You understand? When they reached there, you know, she said she thought it was somebody else's property when she got the call, you know? And when she got there, she realized that it was hers. You understand, people? No star. It was just the other day we were telling you about a situation that happened in the Bolio area. And now these people have to deal with that day, boy. You understand? There were a lot of comments about the fire department and how they should have responded and so on. But Grenadians real opinionated in truth there. You understand? The fire people come out to say, listen, there was still electricity in the buildings, and because of that they had to take precaution. You understand? When approaching the fire. And that is why they would have approached the fire in the manner that they did. You know, we just want to play professional. We're not journalists, we want to play journalists. We're not firefighter, we want to play firefighter. Yeah, now we're not dentists, we want to play dentists. You understand? Anyway, so they say that they are working to find out what really happened here. You know? However, the family, they are asking for help in whatever way that you can, whatever you can give to help them out, you know? Because it's tough. It's tough for them having to start all over from scratch, people. Starting from scratch is not easy. And so that is what they have to do in that situation there. You understand? No star. And that's people reacting to the fire. All right, all you, if you couldn't help in any way, contact them people and help them people. You know what I mean? Yes. All you, there was a royal visit in Grenada, boy. Understand? On Saturday, they showed on and thing. The people come and they ting. Nice to get visit and thing, you know what I mean? They did a lot. Visited a couple places and things like that, you know. They come with a royal plane and I get big on minimum plane too, you know. Yeah, the Prince of Wales and the Duchess of Cornwall, they visited the beautiful island of Grenada. You know, that's the official Caribbean tour they are doing. So Grenada was just one of those stops. Now the Prince and the Duchess were welcomed by Grenada's Prime Minister Keith Mitchell and the Governor General Dame Cecile Lagrenade. The Royal Highnesses received an official welcome ceremony before meeting guests during a reception and viewing exhibits showcasing local arts, craft, and spices. Now, the prince planted a tree at the site of Grenada's old government house to mark the royal visit. Now, it was then on to the House of Chocolate to learn about the history of the chocolate of Grenada, the chocolate industry in Grenada. You know, there's a lot that they did as well. They had a nice little cultural display and a carnage and things like that. You understand? They had a roundtable meeting as well to discuss the blue economy and hear about potential solutions to issues threatening the Caribbean's marine environment. You understand? So it seemed to have been a multifaceted visit by the royals. You know what I mean? Yes. Good. Royal Air Force. All you wanna get big, remind me if I forget. And again, playing with my name on it. And then Mikey Live. And then we go have our next one, Mikey Live family. All the loyal people who still loyal to the program, all are traveling for free. You know what I mean? I ain't making it up, you know. The Royal Grenada Police Force will be conducting live ammunition training at Pearl's Airstrip, Camp Raymond Pearl, St. Andrew, and that will be on Wednesday, 27th March 2019, and that's between the hours of 8:30 a.m. and 2:30 p.m. Animal owners and the general public, you are advised to exercise extreme caution should use of the surrounding areas be an absolute necessity. Okay, Olia, we're moving on. There's a young man that's missing. No, it's not usual that persons of that age goes missing and stuff like that, and so the family really would like your help in locating him. Not only the family but the police, they have put out a bulletin as well. They are seeking your assistance in locating Jude Joseph. Jude is a 37-year-old of Mount Rush, St. George. Now, according to the police, Jude was last seen on Friday, 23rd March 2019 at about 4:30 p.m. driving a gold Honda CR-V. He was wearing a blue colored damaged long jean pants with a black pair of slippers. Now, Jude is approximately 6 feet in height, slim built, brown in complexion, with kinky dreadlock hairstyle. Now, anyone seeing Jude Joseph or has any information about his whereabouts, you are asked to contact the Central Police Station at 440-2245, CID at 440-3921, Police Emergency at 911, Police Hotline at 444-1958, or the nearest police station. Now, his female friend was saying that it is unlike him to not return home after going out. She says that she's gotten misinformation and misleading information from his friends who say that they last saw him on Saturday. You know, she was saying it doesn't matter what it is, he would always return home. And so they are having a feeling that something may just be wrong. And so they need your help in finding him. You understand? Folks, there are some of you all who have seen him around. And for those of you who have not seen him, at least take a look at him on there and look out, be on the lookout. Yes? They say they would really like your help. Alright? Yeah, boy. Oh. So, this is him. And folks, whatever help you can extend to the family, please go ahead and so do. We are moving on. We'll also post it on our site. In fact, it's already posted on our site, so you can feel free to share the information and business like that. You know what I mean? Share the thing, no man. Oh yeah. No, the next thing that we have to tell all your boy, Scared Mikey has won the top spot of Cricket West Indies. He's the new president. Team manager, Ricky Skerrit. He has been appointed as the new president of the Cricket West Indies after securing the necessary votes at the association's annual general meeting at the Jamaica Pegasus on Sunday. Now, by the official account, Skerrit and his running mate, Dr. Kishore Shallow, defeated incumbents Dave Cameron, Wycliffe Dave Cameron, and Emmanuel Nathan by an 8-4 margin. Well, Cameron, well, should I say the controversial Cameron? Unofficially, it is reported that Skerrit and Shallow managed to secure the support of Trinidad and Tobago, Leeward Islands, Windward Islands, and Cameron's home nation, Jamaica. The incumbents, Cameron and Nantan, are believed to have received the support of Barbados and Guyana. You understand? So all your things are going to change. Whether it's for better or for worse, I don't know. But things are going to change. Now, Grenada's Prime Minister has welcomed the change. He said in a press release this morning, "Let me first congratulate Mr. Ricky Skerrit on winning the presidency of the Cricket West Indies and Dr. Kishore Shallow on winning the vice presidency." The Prime Minister said this result will bring great joy and happiness to cricket lovers throughout the world, not just in the West Indies. The elections of Mr. Skerrit's team will lift the spirit of the Caribbean people and give them new hope and a greater expectation for the revival and rebirth of West Indies cricket. You understand? So Grenada's Prime Minister is happy to have that change. We are moving on. Oh yeah, here are going on. The Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, has described the recent meeting between the US President Donald Trump and 5 Caribbean leaders as troubling. Now, Gonsalves told reporters in Barbados on Saturday that the meeting was not a true representation of CARICOM. He said that the regional grouping has already established a framework for dealing with Venezuela, and the leaders should have avoided any attempt at creating division in the region. But they went and they sit down like children waiting for the principal to beat them. I ain't making it up. No disrespect, but I'm just saying. And I saw somebody made reference to that as well. All if you see thing, sit down on the side by some exit door, they sit down there like, you know, somebody sharing porridge. You know what I mean? And they waiting for a porridge. I ain't making it up. So he said, it's rather troubling. We join HTS News Force for a report on that same business what happened in Barbados. Let's go.
4 prime ministers who have gone. Clearly, it's not a CARICOM mission. And none of those governments can speak for anybody but themselves. Certainly they can't speak for CARICOM or for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. They may have useful information to relay, or they may have useless information to relay.
The White House said last week that Friday's meeting between the U.S. President and 5 Caribbean leaders would include discussions on Venezuela and energy. Vincentian Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves says CARICOM already has a common policy on these matters. 4 of the 5 leaders present at the meeting represent countries that are members of CARICOM. They are Andrew Holness of Jamaica, Dr. Hubert Minnis of the Bahamas, Jovenel Moise of Haiti, and St. Lucia's Alan Chasney. Now, to be clear, none of the leaders have stated that they were on a CARICOM mission. They have all said that they were representing their individual countries at the sit-down with the leader of the free world. But for Dr. Gonsalves, the sit-down is not worth dividing the region.
Any discussion of Venezuela in that context, as at Mar-a-Lago, that it cuts across the agreed mechanisms that we have put in place. It doesn't mean that those countries don't have the right as sovereign states to have conversations with whomever they want. But remember, I take you from the revised treaty of Chaguaramas. I take you to the decisions of CARICOM, including the statements, who we have appointed, and the mechanisms. And we in CARICOM have to be very alive to the mischief that some persons may be up to seek to divide us.
Meanwhile, the Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda, Gaston Brown, was just as firm in his stance on the meeting with the chosen five. He says what many people fail to realize is that CARICOM, through its common stance on issues like the ongoing crisis in Venezuela, is protecting member states.
President Trump has a right to meet with whomever he pleases. That is his right so to do. We respect his decision. All I can say at this point is that those individuals clearly represent their respective countries. They have absolutely no authority speaking on behalf of CARICOM, and certainly in the case of Antigua and Barbuda, they have absolutely no authority speaking on behalf of the government people of Antigua and Barbuda. To my knowledge, the invitation was limited to those 4 countries, and I want to say here, those of us within CARICOM who continue to stand in principle need to do so, because let me tell you, history will absolve us. And I want to tell you that if it wasn't for the strong position of CARICOM to stand in principle, the principles of non-interference, non-intervention, respecting the sovereignty of states, I guarantee you military action would have been taken in Venezuela already, and there would have been dire consequences for Caribbean people.
Dr. Gonzalez told reporters that CARICOM will give all parties in Venezuela a listening ear. He said that a video conference will be held soon with the Canadian government acting as the middleman to engage opposition leader Juan Guaido and his representatives. Dr. Gonzalez says CARICOM will hold firm on its long-standing position of non-interference and non-intervention, and that all member states should resist any attempts at division. Alison Kentish, HTS News Force.
Well, I think those countries who were there, they got something like a representation of the porridge, but not real porridge. Wasn't the name of that thing again? Some funding thing? Wasn't the name of you had the hate anyway. So, yeah. They don't get porridge, but they'll get something to represent the porridge. So, maybe. You know what I mean? I know if you leave it up to me and my brother and thing, when we go in to get the porridge, and then when we get the porridge, we go back and say we didn't get. So when they give us again, we bring it back for our friends. Those who are getting left out. And but now, wow, that one different. I'm on a matter of, if it was me and I had to make a decision like that, as a leader, I would decline. It doesn't matter what I would benefit from from that meeting, but it just doesn't look good. You know, for the others. It's almost like cheating, right? Yeah, it's like cheating, you know. You got like, you feel nice for 2 minutes, but then at the end of the day, what you leave behind, the problems that you leave behind, you know what I mean? And you ask yourself, is it really worth it? Is it really worth the fallout? You know what I mean? As a result of that one meeting that by next week, when you ask, how they calling him, about St. Lucia, you'll think it's, I know you go think it's some kind of Catholic priest you're talking about. Anyway, so let me leave that one day. And the next thing that we have to tell all about, boy, firefighters are back on the job in St. Lucia. Yeah, that's that. They returned as the protest was beginning to take a toll on the services. All right. Remember that they were making their demands, and they listen. They said if our demands are not met, we can come back to work. And then people mean it, and so they put pressure on the system. Now we have an update for you from again HTS.
The end of the strike was as surprising as the start. Early Friday evening, firefighters, in what they say is a demonstration of good faith, decided to report for duty.
Members basically agreed that on the concession made by the Ministry of Home Affairs to remove the contracts for probationers, that we would report in for duty on that concession. Again, as an act of good faith, because we felt that the ministry had done something that we requested as an association. That letter is informing the Prime Minister of our decision, and to also inform him that whilst on duty, whereas he had agreed in his letter to give immediate attention to the other things that we presented to him, that we have provided timelines for those things to be done.
This may just be a short respite. The situation is far from resolved. On Monday morning, the Firefighters Association handed their letter to the Minister for National Security and to the Prime Minister. Included in the letter is a list of demands and a timetable for the completion of each one of those demands.
The exemption of license fees for officers, fire officers who have been authorized to drive fire service assigned vehicles. And you must understand too that there is a particular training that comes with having to maneuver those vehicles, operate them and so on, and they cost money. And so having attained that relevant training and so on, we're asking for those officers to be exempted from paying license fees.
There are calls in some quarters for disciplinary action against the striking workers from both within the fire service itself and without. Chairman Shane Felix says he's been down this road before.
I'm being told that a particular senior officer has said publicly that he will be sending me legal documents and maybe pursue legal action against me. But that has happened in the past. Under the previous chief officer who was retired in the public's interest, I did get one of those letters threatening a lawsuit and so on. But you know, everything that I've said in the media is evidenced with facts and so on. And you know, I think the senior officer's actions, the minister's actions, is just really exposing the true nature of this. And St. Lucians will eventually see again that this is not a Shane Felix thing. This is not political, but to really expose the true nature of what the St. Lucia Fire Service is. And you will see that whether any one administration has a true interest in resolving our issues.
The members of the Firefighters Association say they've taken the first step by their decision to return to work. The ball, they say, is squarely on the government side of the court. There is no indication as yet as to how the government will move. This high-stakes game of brinkmanship may have only just begun.
We have concerns. They've been there for a very long time. We're asking again, and this administration again has a golden opportunity to show St. Lucians that they are serious about correcting this cancer that has been in the fire service for so long, and they seem to be just playing a game with it.
Stanley Lucian for the HTS News Force.
All right, thank you very much. All right, yeah, somebody spoke of it. What's his name again? Is it? I think I just saw somebody brought it up. Lima. Yes, Lima is the name of it. It's a funding kind of thing, right? Something to that effect. You know, I don't really business about what's going on up there. You know what I mean? Before this others reaches Jamaica and Cuba and things so and then, you know when you used to run when you're small, you run and touch you wall and come back. I how others handle business. When I reach by up, so others come back. All right, so audio. We have two things to tell you about. First of all, your hot list. We got to tell you about the hot list because still we have some names on the hot list here. And anyone with information regarding the names that I'm about to mention, you're asked to please ask them to call 420-8226 urgently. All right, the number is 420-8226. Ask Garvin McPhee of Loreto Guave, St. John to please call the number. All right, Kira Jaggernaut, Vincent St. David, Ayana Paul, Vendom St. George, also Theron Francis, and Theron Francis is from Corinth in St. David. All right, we have Laurie Dunbar, Tivoli St. Andrew, Kesia Strawn, Westerhall St. David, Junior Fraser, Fontenoy St. George, Donsha Lewis, Paraclete St. George, Raymond Lewis, Montgranby, Grandroy St. John, Delroy Peters, Bolio St. George, Augustine Philip, Mama Can St. Andrew, Linus Charles, Latan St. David, Omega Antoine, Marley St. David or Mondeli St. George, Dean Braveroy of Frequente St. George, Shakira Maxwin, Frequente St. George, Renisha Regis, Lamode or Molyneux St. George, Urban George Sharp, Tibayet St. David, Philip Batiste, Mardigras St. George, Dwayne Raj Jerome, Tempe St. George, Christopher Beggs, Felix Park, St. Andrew, Sherlan Ambrose, Guelph, St. John, and Judy Filbert Lamode, St. George. These names you are asked to please call 420-8226 if you're on the program, or if there's somebody who knows any of those names that I've mentioned, please ask them to call the number. All right, that's the hot list number. As well, folks, there's a place boy that I want to tell all you about. I'm telling all you about the place, but let me tell all you again. It is it's a special touch variety store, and they say they have it's a new store just recently opened, and they have they say that we have something for everyone. Okay, they are located on Market Hill, St. George, and you can call 537-9497. It's a variety store, so they have a variety of things. You just name it, they've got it. So it's a new store that's opened on Market Hill. It's called Special Touch Variety Store. They sell clothing, shoes, smartphones, phone accessories, you know, the things that you will get in a variety store. So you got to go check it out. 537-9497 is the contact number for that. All right, folks, here's what we are going to do. We are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, well, you know what's happening next. Stay tuned.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom
for me and you.
I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. What a wonderful world.
It's a new year, so how about a new look? At Quartz Optical, we have the latest brand names and styles. Plus, get 20% off credit on 12 to 24 months. Instant credit approval while you are being tested. Get 15% off cash, so you can get that new frame to go into the new year. Only at Quartz Optical, the largest, fastest growing optical chain in the Caribbean. Special conditions apply.
Bruv.
Hello? I can't see you.
What's good?
But I can't even hear you.
Yo.
Hello? Hello?
Okay, I see. I'm good. I'm coming in.
There you are.
Live the experience right now. Enjoy high-quality video calling today. Stream, upload, and share with Digicell's super fast LTE network. Visit our stores today and live the experience today. Digicell. On Saturday, 6 April, the National Stadium comes alive with the grand opening of the second annual Pure Grenada Cup. St. Andrew Big Purse Stores versus St. Mark Western Stores. And from 9 p.m, defending champion St. Patrick Crown City Strikers versus St. John Dolphins. Experience pure football, pure class. Then after the games, we move stateside for the top 3 artists in the International Groovy Monarch from Trinidad. Groovy King Swampy from St. Lucia with his man, Teddyson John, and the Grenadian Golden Boy, Vaughn. Also featuring the band Solid and Pappy Boy. Admission $25 main stand, $20 bleachers. The grand opening of the second annual Pure Grenada Cup. Get into the game.
All right, folks. Yes, and of course, it's going to be a really competitive event. Already I hear some of the teams are talking about what their plans are for this tournament. All right, guys, and before we go to the national report, somebody sent this today. I don't know who it is. Maybe it's one of you. The card didn't say who it came from, so if it happens to be one of you, I would like to express my appreciation for making my belated birthday even, more exciting. When you think that you have one day to celebrate, the days continue going on while you get gifts and so on. So I enjoyed the lunch, and I appreciate it. All right, whoever did it. Now here's what we're doing. Now we have for you the national report in Olia Lily Lolo.
Grenada hosts sensitization seminar on CARICOM gender-sensitive results-based management system. We'll have details to this story and more in the national report. With the details to the news for today, Monday, March 25th, I am Rikisha St. Louis. Do CARICOM citizens know if regional priorities agreed to by heads are incorporated in our national agenda? And how can we hold the heads, CARICOM Secretariat and ourselves responsible for implementation? Some of the pertinent questions that were discussed on Monday during a sensitization seminar on the CARICOM gender-sensitive results-based management system. In 2012, CARICOM heads agreed that it was necessary to re-examine the future direction of the regional grouping, and in response, they embarked on a reformation process, which included two major outcomes. These are a more focused, effective, and impactful community, guided by a 5-year plan and a transformed CARICOM Secretariat. At the 35th conference in July 2014 in Antigua, the heads approved the Caribbean Community 5-Year Strategic Plan 2015 to 2019. Its desired outcomes include strong economic growth, reduction in poverty and unemployment, improved quality of life, and an integrated community with equity for all. Dr. Suknandan, CARICOM Deputy Secretary General, says we must be able to use results-based management in our national and regional development plans.
So inclusiveness is an important feature in RBM. It involves, as I mentioned, the CARICOM Secretariat, member states, regional institutions, different levels of governments, ministries, etc., parliamentarians, social partners, civil society, and the private sector. In the end, it is our community of which we are a part and which we serve that should benefit. Using RBM will also diminish or minimize the well-known implementation deficit at several levels and within several structures, which includes the ministerial level. We can hold each other accountable for not making progress, but it is necessary that all of us know what RBM is, how to use it and work with it in our national and regional development plans.
The plan is to have their first results-focused performance framework ready by the end of next month. Mr. Craig Beresford, Director for CARICOM's Strategic Management Unit, says tracking the process of implementation is key.
We have been linking using virtual means with member states on a quarterly basis and or institutions to discuss implementation progress. So on a quarterly basis, we discuss how we are doing in terms of the progress, where there are log jams, issues, challenges, et al. We try to see how best we can treat with them at that level and at that point, so that at the end of the year, we're not looking back to say, why didn't we achieve what we should have achieved? But we try to treat with those issues as we go along. And the meetings are all virtual, so there's not a cost. So we meet virtually, we have these discussions, and then we pass the information to member states in terms of some of the challenges that we're having at the regional level.
Prime Minister Dr. The Right Honorable Keith Mitchell has congratulated Mr. Ricky Skerritt on winning the presidency of Cricket West Indies and Dr. Keisho Shallow on winning the vice presidency. He says this result will bring great joy and happiness to cricket lovers throughout the world, not just in the West Indies. Dr. Mitchell issued a statement saying the election of Mr. Skerritt's team will lift the spirits of the Caribbean people and give them new hope and a greater expectation for the revival and rebirth of West Indies cricket. Dr. Mitchell also congratulated the Skerritt team for running a clean and effective campaign in which they consistently highlighted their agenda for change, their vision for the future of West Indies cricket, and their 10-point plan for making that vision a reality. He added, and I quote, "I must especially commend Mr. Skerritt for requesting that stakeholders share responsibility for his strategy and become co-owners of his agenda for change. I believe that CARICOM governments will honor these requests and do all in their power to promote harmonious and cooperative relationships between the board and all stakeholders for the common good of the game and the region." Unquote. warm Grenadian welcome was extended to their Royal Highnesses, the Prince of Wales and the Duchess of Cornwall over the weekend, a welcome they won't soon forget. Their visit started with an official welcome from Governor-General Her Excellency Dame Cecile Lagranade, Foreign Affairs Minister Honorable Peter David, ambassadors, members of the Royal Grenada Police Force and the Cadet Corps. This was followed by a tree planting exercise at Old Government House. During their brief stay in Pure Grenada, their Royal Highnesses visited the House of the Chocolate on Young Street and a farmer's market on the Carenage, where spices, crafts, agriculture, nutmeg, chocolate, floral arrangements and delicacies were all on display. The Prince of Wales and Duchess of Cornwall were entertained by local dancers and still band music as they got a taste of everything Grenada has to offer. Visitors and locals alike gathered at the Carenage to greet their Royal Highnesses as they made their way to the various booths. The final opportunity for public engagement was a showcase in Grand Dance, where the Royal Highnesses viewed various marine conservation projects as well as a variety of local arts and crafts. The Prince of Wales also participated in a round table on sustainability and the blue economy. The visit to Grenada is the 4th stop on a 7-country tour of the Caribbean. This is the National Report. We'll have more news after the break.
The safety on our roads make this a major priority. Health of our people, a crucial necessity. Accidents happen when road users are either irresponsible or inconsiderate in one way or the other. Play your part. Reduce your speed. Be attentive. It is your personal responsibility. Let 2017 be the start of no more road fatality. Be safe, be seen, be smart. So let's wise up as a nation, get to your destination safe.
Welcome back. Grenada is the first country to gain hands-on training in business management from the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank. Small business owners were targeted for the micro-business simulation exercise. The workshop focused on record-keeping, accounting, business management, and customer service. Facilitator of the workshop, Shamalan Kirby, attached to the ECCB's Cooperative Relations Department, says the initiative was done to promote efficiency of small businesses in the Caribbean.
The workshop was part of the ECCB's mandate to promote the development of our countries, and we know the importance small businesses play in our country's economies. This is to help small business run more efficient businesses. We have also found that small businesses, people have great ideas, they start, but the businesses fail. Fail because of poor planning, poor or no record keeping, and not knowing the proper principles of business management. This workshop covered all of this. We had a guest facilitator, an accountant, come in to talk about the basics of a financial statement. And I think for most of the participants, that's what they walked away with. The importance of record keeping and actually getting an appreciation of financial statements and the importance of preparing financial statements for their businesses.
The ECCB will continue to train in other member territories this week. One participant, Ms. Risa Pear, expressed her gratitude for the exposure to the workshop and the hands-on experience.
With this workshop, I think it was a more practical workshop. I've been to other workshops and it's more of a lecture. So it's someone speaking and you just may take notes. But this one, we had more hands-on, more practical. We use the board and to make it more realistic, and we can also use our business, like whatever was the example we had here today, we could have used it as an example in our business. One of the things that I've definitely learned is the importance of record keeping for your business, so that at the end of whatever financial year you are able to go back so that you can complete your records and your booking. So that is one of the most important things that I learned. Also understanding your customers and their needs, and sometimes you have to personalize for certain customers, so that's also something that I would have learned.
Finally, promoting the importance of human relationships, the theme under which the Grenada Association of Social Workers engaged stakeholders in a seminar in observance of World Social Work Day on Friday. World Social Work Day is used to celebrate and recognize social workers as champions for social justice and human rights. The seminar focused on building awareness on the importance of building relationships and effective communication with each other.
We want to raise awareness about the importance of human relationships, and without the collaborating and the commitment and the willingness of helping professionals, we cannot meet the needs of our client. We cannot address the social issues in society without developing great, healthy relationships. So what we want to bring across is awareness, but we want to encourage helping professionals to collaborate so that needs can be met.
President of the Grenada Association of Social Worker, Kalisha Hyacinth Purcell Charles. She said more needs to be done to improve collaboration and strained relationships to improve delivery output.
It's definitely lacking within Grenada. I know it's lacking in other nations, but I can speak for here. I believe that we're not collaborating sufficiently. I believe that we have very strained relationships, and that sort of relationship is impacting service delivery. So it's a big issue, and I think this global theme of promoting the importance of human relationship comes in a perfect time where there's a lot of issues going on amongst I should say a lot of issues that's happening within our society where we need to have more commitment and more relationship building in order to satisfy the needs of our society.
The session was attended by Ministry of Social Development, Program for Adolescent Mothers, students of St. George's University and Florida State University, among others. That story just ended the national report for today, Monday, March 25th. Let's recap the top story. Grenada hosts sensitization seminar on CARICOM gender-sensitive results-based management system. On behalf of all those who made this newscast possible, I am Rikisha St. Louis saying thank you for joining us. Until next time.
Alrighty then, thank you very much guys, and let's take a look at the weather. Let's see what it says it's going to be like for tonight, all right? So let's take a look at precipitation, 11%, humidity, 83%, wind, 24 kilometers per hour, and it is saying that the current temperature is just around 26 degrees Celsius, and that the minimum temperature is going to be about 25 degrees Celsius. That is for tonight, all right, guys? So that's just the generic weather report for you. You know, there was the forecast for the Sahara dust, and it was really better for some people this time around, this weekend. You know, there was a forecast that it was going to be dusty and so on. I still think that it was better, there was better visibility, less people complaining this past weekend than the previous. Yes. And so we have to say thank God for that. At least we shouldn't just let it go by like, okay, you know, ting. No, we have to be thankful, because the previous Saturday, the previous Sunday, it was really crazy for a lot of people. Yes, so we have to say thank God for that. We've been getting some rainy days in between too, in a period when it's predicted that it's going to be very dry. That too, we have to be thankful for. We could just hope that we will get less fires and have less people losing their homes and so on, because it's never good for us as a nation when we have our citizens losing their financial stability through the destruction of their home and the destruction of their property and life earnings. It's hard, and so we hope that we will find a way to curb that situation. Okay, good. I would like to say hi to a few people on the live. We have Zaka, Colette, Asha, Jade, Angel, Angela, Noreen, Rolanda, Hazel, Esther, Trevelin, Crispin, Lintona, Nika, Michelle. We have Lisa, Rose, Samantha, Jane, Spice Girl, Noreen, Kathleen, Lisa, Mikey, stop give credit awa. No. Louisa, Sherman, and Joan, and everyone else. Suzette, I see you there as well. Everyone else on the program, I would like to say Deslin, and everyone else, man. Thank you for making it Mikey Live. I appreciate you guys. I have to say it was a really good birthday. You guys made it awesome, and the other people, they know who they are. You know, it was fantastic, and I am happy to have people like you in my life. It doesn't matter how distant you are in terms of the actual distance, physical distance. Still, I feel like you guys are here being a part of my life, and so I want to say thank you for investing in my dream, your time, and of course, we have a lot more things to look forward to. God bless you and your family. Have a good night. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we all say, yeah! No. Good night to everyone on social media and those of you on WPG10. We'll chat tomorrow.